All right, what is the will of the Father? We're going to see in the scriptures what the will of the Father is, and it's very important, okay, because in Matthew chapter 7, verse 21 through 23, Christ says that only those that do the will of the Father are entering the kingdom of heaven. He says, not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Right? So there's going to be people that call Christ Lord, but he says not everyone who calls him Lord will enter the kingdom of heaven. Only those that do the will of the Father will enter the kingdom of heaven. He goes on to say, many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works? And then I will profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity, which is lawlessness, which is unrepentant sin. Right? So a lot of people, Christ says, have done things for him and have said that they're believers and Christians and walk in the way, but he's going to say, I don't know you, you that work iniquity. So they had unrepentant sin in their life. They were still breaking God's laws. Now, the will of the Father, John chapter 6, verse 39, it says, I'll start in verse 38, for I came down from heaven, this is Christ, for I came down from heaven not to do mine own will, but the will of him that sent me. Right, and John chapter 7, verse 16, Christ says that his doctrine is not his, but of the Father. He says, my doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me. So everything Christ said was of his Father. Him and his Father are one. They're in agreement. They're on one accord. They're of the same Spirit. So they're going to be in agreement with everything that's said. Okay? And verse 39, and this is the Father's will which has sent me, that of all which he has given me, I should lose nothing, but should raise it up again at the last day. And this is the will of him that sent me, that everyone which seeth the Son and believeth on him may have everlasting life, and I will raise him up at the last day. So the will of the Father is to believe on the Son. Okay? Now, believing on the Son doesn't just mean to believe in him. If you believe in him, you believe in his words, which means you're going to do his words. Like John 14, 21 through 24 says, he that loves me keeps my sayings, and he that doesn't love me doesn't keep my sayings. Christ says, why do you call me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say? Right? Just like he's going to say to many, all of you guys are calling me Lord, Lord, but you didn't do didn't do what I said. So I don't know you. Okay, so part of the Father's will is believing on the Son. Christianity will stop there and will say it just means to believe in him and now you're saved. But believing in him means obey. Hebrews 5 verse 9, Christ became the author of eternal salvation unto all them that obey him. Okay? Psalm chapter 40 verse 8, it says, the psalmist David says, I delight to do thy will, O God. Thy law is within my heart. Okay? I delight to do thy will. Okay, what is God's will? He says, thy law is within my heart. So God's will is doing his law. Okay? The will of the Father is doing his law and believing on the Son. Just like Revelation 14:12, here are the patience of the saints, those that keep the commandments of God and have the faith of Messiah. It's both keeping the commandments of the Father and having the faith of the Messiah, believing in him, following his teachings, right? Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13 says that the whole duty of man is to fear God and keep his commandments, right? So God's purpose, his will for our lives is to fear God, fear him, and keep his commandments. And that's what Christ is quoting when he says the two greatest commandments are to love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind, to love your neighbor as yourself. When he says to love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind, he's quoting Deuteronomy chapter 6, verses 1 through 5, which says the way we love God with our heart, soul, and mind is to fear him and keep his commandments, right? That's his will. And a lot of Christians will pray prayers talking about, Father, help us do your will, whether that's at the dinner table or where the pastor is praying over the hundreds of people that are sitting under him on Sunday morning. People will pray, Father, help us to do your will. But people don't know what his will is. His will is his law. According to the scriptures, the precept for the will is Psalm 40, verse 8, and Ecclesiastes 12, 13. As well as John 6, 39. We also need to believe in the Son, right? So believing in the Son, doing what he says, and following the commandments of the Father, that's the will. Only those that do the will of the Father are entering the kingdom of heaven. So yes, we must be keeping the laws to the best of our ability. That's why Christ is going to say to many on that day, I don't know you, you that work lawlessness, you that break God's laws, right?